Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to WFSO Reaction. I just ran across the video by Danny Do Sports. Apparently, I am subscribed to his channel, so you get a chance, check it out. Um, and like this would be my first time watching this, which was out like maybe a few weeks ago. Of a says clear solution to the Milwaukee Bucks issues is trading Brook Lopez. So part of me just thinking like I understand because some people want Brook Lopez to be traded or be gone because he's slipping, but he's actually doing like a little bit better than he was last year. But there are some questionable moves that he has, done, but it could have been like all of the what Coach Bud wanted him to do. So that's probably be the thing that, probably making him bad. So maybe the gameplay or his like Bud's strategy is not suited for him or whatever. But it's not helping with the, it's helping with the defense, but like the offense is just like he's just not doing what he used to do. Like I understand he can shoot, so don't mind him like shooting maybe like two or three attempts a game, but more than that, just let it be and just do your be in the paint and just try to take it in and stuff. So that's just why I think that what Brook Lopez should do. But let's just listen to this video and see what he's talking about trading Brook Lopez.
What's going on, YouTube? It's another episode of Danny Do Sports. If you don't know, the Bucks have lost four straight games, and their fourth quarter struggles are continuing to be an issue. On top of that, this whole season they've yet to beat another top contender. Every time they face one of these teams, they've lost, and that includes the Nets, the Lakers, the Jazz, and the Suns. One of the big things we have to know, however, is as much vitriol as Giannis Antetokounmpo receives for not being a clutch player, at this moment, today, February 17th, 2021, he leads the NBA in fourth quarter points with about 8 per game, and he's only tied with Zach LaVine for that lead. As of today, he's currently shooting 60% from the floor and 37% from three, which means he's relatively the same player he is in the fourth quarter. There's no dip, and in fact, in his three-point shooting, there's a slight increase. And that 8 points per game really means a lot for a guy who is getting comparisons to Shaq. He doesn't shoot free throws well right now. And that could be something that really adds to his game later on in his career. But at this point in the season, he's still doing what it takes in the fourth quarter without receiving a significant number of points from the free throw line at the times when it matters most. It's the other players on this team that are an issue. In the fourth quarter, everyone else on the Bucks seems to regress or is a role player who's not getting the closing final minutes. Drew Holiday has been out recently, so we can't contain him in this sample size. However, I was looking at all the Eastern Conference teams. Since the time that James Harden arrived, players who have played at least 15 games for the Nets, the 76ers, and the Bucks. I was running through their fourth quarter stats, and here's some interesting things that I saw that I think is holding back Giannis and his ability to win a championship. Chris Middleton, he takes, most of the closing game shots, and a lot of those
Because
he's
he's their
going
best
through
shooter on the team.
defender help. Everybody knows the ball is going to him in the fourth quarter because he is the second guy outside of Giannis, and he is the shooter. He is the one who's supposed to be creating offense and have the ball in his hands when the game is tight. He goes from shooting 44.2% from three to just 36.4%. The guy's typically a 50, 40, 90 shooter, but all his statistics go down in the fourth quarter. He's only getting 4.2 points per game. The Nets have a big three where all three of those guys average more than 7 points per game and 40% from three in the fourth quarter. The 76ers have Joel Embiid, who is 50% from the floor, 50% from three. Tobias Harris, who also does 50% from the floor and 50% from three. And Embiid gets you 7 points per game, and Harris gets you five. But on top of that, both of those guys are effective free throw shooters, so essentially they have no weakness when it's time to close a game. They might need somebody to be a better dribble initiator, and in a lot of the times, you don't see Ben Simmons showing up in the fourth quarter statistics. Tyrese Maxey has done his job, Shake Milton has done that job, and they're doing well with the closing, tandem of Harris being a bigger forward and Embiid being basically James Harden-esque from the center position. The Nets, like I said, have a lot of dominant guys. Anybody can take a turn, but they're especially led by Kevin Durant, who all his shooting percentages increase in the fourth quarter. And he gets you 7.9 points per game when he's on the court. I know he's been out recently. But the biggest issue I see, the biggest, especially for the Milwaukee Bucks, is Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez, who goes from a respectable 35.9% from three, goes down all the way to 23.5% from three. Giannis is the only guy that's allowed to be a non-shooter for the Bucks, especially in a closing lineup. And that's because not only is he an MVP, two-time, but he is the most dynamic player on this team, whether it's playmaking, whether it's defensively. But Brook Lopez is not doing anything in the fourth quarter to help Giannis. And I've talked about this on my channel before, and everybody knows the Bucks would be much more dangerous in a closing lineup if they went small. But especially now, when you see that Brook Lopez, no matter what he brings defensively, is an extreme liability to be spotting up around a Giannis action, the closing game, especially in the fourth quarter, something has to be done. Against the good teams, again, when they played the Nets, the Lakers, the Jazz, and the Suns, they played basically 5 games, 2 against the Jazz, 1 against every one of those other guys. Lopez went 1 of 3 from 3 against the Nets in the fourth quarter. Why did he even have the ball? He went 0 for 1 against the Lakers. He went 0 for 2 against the Jazz, and then 0 of 0 in a blowout game because he was pulled, and he went 0 for 1 for the Suns. Basically, feeding him a possession is a waste. When you add it all up, he went basically 1 for 7. 1 for 7. 1 for 7. And this is the guy that has been given a $12 million contract. When they first got him, he was only there for a $3 million, I believe, biannual salary type deal. And you have now Bobby Portis, who is on a smaller deal for 2 years. He's a better shooter from 3. As far as percentages go, he's shooting 48.4. He's scoring more points in fewer minutes. And defensively, he's no scrub. He's not a liability, and he's not aging the same way Brook Lopez is. And the fact that Brook Lopez is about to be 33 years old. They need to trade Brook Lopez. That is my solution for why the Bucks have not been a threat to anybody. You consistently have this one guy who basically goes from a regular rotation piece to a scrub in the fourth quarter. I could see them trading Lopez for Rudy Gay, trading him to the Spurs for Rudy Gay, trading him to OKC for Trevor Ariza. But I would love a package in which they trade him to New York to be the backup to Mr. Robinson for Austin Rivers, Reggie Bullock, and Alec Burks. They could fit all 3 of those guys in there and suddenly get a lot.
That'd be too much.
Alec Burks has been very efficient as a mid-range player so far for the Knicks. Austin Rivers, we know he brings the 3-point shot. We know he can be a spell point guard. And Reggie Bullock has not been the greatest, and I might be judging him a little sporadically because it seems, his shot has not been consistent. But Reggie Bullock is still good overall, and he could be an addition, and you can get all 3 of those guys for very, very cheap right now. Very cheap. And the Knicks could take back Lopez's additional salary because they are so far under the cap. And what would this cost you? Some future first? You don't have those. A future second? Maybe you even have to throw DJ Wilson into the deal or somebody else. But it's a move that has to be made because in the fourth quarter, you're not scaring anybody. Bert Forbes is the best player, save for Giannis in the fourth quarter, and he's significantly undersized. And he's not closing games. This team needs the ability to go small. Trading Brook Lopez will do that. Even if they don't, even just switching Portis out in the fourth quarter to close could be a threat if he could work beside him. Let me know what you guys think. Is Giannis significantly being undervalued in the fourth quarter for what he brings? And is the responsibility to improve on the coaching staff and the players for the Milwaukee Bucks? As always.
Well, like I see his point and stuff like that, but the trade he was saying like for the Bucks should do with New York and stuff like that. we got like too many guards as it is, so we don't need anymore. We really just need a center. It could be a defensive center or a good offensive center that, or at least a two-way center. That's all we need is a backup center because we don't have that. Like, and like not putting, Bobby Portis can't always like play the five because I don't think he's like he's okay, but he's not that great. Like in the like in the lineup with at the five. Think he's like better off like being at the four than had like somebody else at the five, like Brook, Giannis, or somebody else they could like go after. But that's just like too many guards. It's like they got DJ Wilson, but they're not using him, so he's probably gonna be end up being gone. But I don't think that New York trade will work. But if they do, I'm not gonna be upset. They'll just see how it works. But they do. I agree that they do need to make the move, but now it's like March 9th and they won their won their last game on against Memphis and got New York this Thursday. So just mainly they just need to, try to get somebody or get somebody that, on a maybe somebody that's on a buyout or something like that. See what they can do. I was talking about it on Aftermath yesterday, just talking about like possible like maybe some people they can get like to play center like DeMarcus Cousins or some people that they was after on my recent videos. So get a chance, go check those out. But just overall, just hopefully they can you know, get back to the top of the East. Because right now they're in third in the East. They're like 2 games behind the Sixers and kind of like a game and a half behind the Nets. So it's not bad. So right now it's just them three on the top, and everybody else is like, kind of a little bit lower than that. So they got a little. The Bucks got a little bit of breathing room, but anything can happen. But like this video, you give it a like. Check out Danny Do Sports. Um, and also we're doing the giveaway. We're giving away the Iron Hammer Funko Pop. The more you comment on this video and other future videos, bigger a chance that you get to win it. But you gotta do is, yeah, aim is to win it. So not only you just gotta comment on the videos, but you gotta subscribe as well to be entered. So please subscribe. And, and I will do a separate video on the winner of the Iron Hammer Fungo Pop when we get to 150. Until the next video, and anybody can enter.